And finally, this is the third question. This is the easiest question of them all. Um, okay, so I'll just quickly do that. I hope you understood the last two questions. So this is the easiest question I feel because this not this basic arithmetic. Okay, so I'll just delete these things so that I can do it together. Okay, so here it says that Nokia Corporation manufactures mobile A type and B type. Um, and in a particular factory, assuming the overhead costs are currently allocated using direct labor overheads, but the controller has recommended an activity based cost system using the following data. So what it says is that production setup. So there's three kinds of activities that are being done um, in this kind of a plant. The first is the production setup. The second is the material handling and requisition, and third is the packaging. So one is the production, then handling, and then packaging. So there are three activities that are being done. Now each activity can be either allocated using the labor hours that are used for the total production. So it's type A requires certain labor hours, type B requires some labor hours. So you can take the total cost and divide it by the labor hours to allocate the. So basically, what is happening is one. Why this is important is for example, there's one factory that manufactures two kinds of phones. Let's say a Samsung Galaxy, or let's say a Nokia Lumia and a Nokia 3310. Both are different kinds of phones. So as a manufacturer, I need to know what is the cost per manufacturing each phone. Otherwise, I will not be able to price it. Okay, so the Nokia Lumia might require more time to process it, but the parts are expensive, or a certain production setup might take up more time. So it's not equally. So it does not equate to the number of labor hours all the time. Okay, so generally what happens is because labor hours are easily available, most people allocate the cost based using labor hours. But here what it says that activity based costing is more relevant because it gives you a granular control over all the costs based on the number of activity drivers. Okay, so here basically what says that there are three kinds of activities: production setup, material handling, and packaging and distribution. In case of production setup, what is the driver? It's the number of setups. So here there are two kinds of mobiles: mobile A and mobile B. Okay, mobile A requires 12 setups, mobile B requires only 8 setups. Material handling and requisition is based on the number of parts. So here mobile A has 70 parts, mobile B has 30 parts. Okay, so packaging is based on the number of units dispatched. So number more the units dispatched, more would be the activity based cost. So here the number of units dispatched is 1,20,000 and here it's 40,000. So the difference here, so more units dispatched, the more will be the allocation of the cost. So this is the total cost that is given, and these are the activity base that are given. So firstly, we'll make this table where you have the activities, you have the cost drivers, and the total cost. So the total cost over here is given here. So we'll just copy it: 1,20,000, 20,000, and 1,60,000. Right? Um, the activity drivers, so cost drivers are given over here. So 12, 8, 70, 30, 1,20,000, and 40,000. The total is again like this. So 12 plus 8, and just drag it down. Now the activity rate will be equal to cost divided by the total. So equal to cost divided by total. Now just drag it down. So you can see that for every activity, so for every setup, 6,000 rupees should be allocated to that setup. For every part, 200 rupees should be should be allocated. For every unit dispatched, the packaging and dispatch should be set up for 1 rupees. Okay, so these are the activity based rates. Now what I will do over here, I'll just delete these formulas for now. What I will do is multiply the number of activity drivers multiplied by activity rate. So the activity driver over here is 12. multiplied by the activity rate, which is 6,000. I will fix this to $G4. Okay, and now I'll just copy it. So basically what I'm doing is multiplying 12 into 6,000. For the next one, I'm multiplying 70 into 200. And the third one, I'm doing 1,20,000 into 1. Here it's 8 into 6,000, 30 into 200, and 40,000 into 1. Correct? Hmm. So now you can see the total cost has been allocated. So the entire total cost was 3 lakhs. The entire cost was 3 lakhs. I've allocated it based on 72,000 here, 48,000 here, 14,000 here, 6,000 here, 1,20,000 here, and 40,000 here based on the activity drivers. So you just need to multiply this multiplied by this and this multiplied by this. Okay, it's very easy. Here the question was easier because you have given the cost drivers. There might be questions where the exact cost driver might not be given to you. So that will become more challenging, but here everything was given to you. So this is the total cost. So for type A phones, the total cost is 2,06,000 and type B phones is 94,000. Now labor hours. So basically in the second part, it says that compute the amount of allocation of overhead for each product using labor hours as the allocation basis. Assume 60,000 labor hours were used for type A and 20,000 used for type B. So basically it's saying that allocate based on labor hours. Now I know the total cost is 3 lakh, correct? Now 3 lakh and this is 60,000 and this is 20,000. Total would be this plus this, which is 80,000, and activity rate would be 3 lakhs divided by total hours. Okay, this gives you 4 rupees for every labor hour. Now here what I will do is basically multiply it. So here is equal to 60,000 multiplied by 4 rupees, and 20 60,000 multiplied by 4 rupees. So it's rounding up to 4 rupees. It must be less than 4 rupees. Let me just see the decimal. So it's 3.75. Okay, so that's why 60,000 into 3.75 and 20,000 into 3.75 gives you 75,000. Total is again 3 lakhs, and this is total cost. Correct. So this is the entire calculation. Third part, it says that should the company adopt an ABC system, support your answer with reason. So always ABC, you should always adopt ABC because it gives you a more granular control over the cost. So I have given two reasons why yes. So one is better allocation. So you can see over here that the allocation over here was 2,94,000, 2,06,000 and 94,000, but here is 2,25,000 and 75,000. So it's over allocating the cost to A and under allocating the cost to B. This can be a problematic thing because later on when you're pricing these products, it might give you some problems. So always ABC costing is better because it helps in better allocation of cost and helps in determining pricing. So better pricing can be done using ABC. No, I've given one reason because so you can, when you're using saying yes, you can also say that while this is they should follow this, they should also see the uh, cost of implementing ABC. So they should see what is the cost of implementing ABC. Generally, what happens is labor cost is trackable, but to track all the number of setups and number of parts and number of units dispatched for each of these activities, it can incur more cost. So the difference over here is significant, but you can see that there might be an additional cost that might be required by the company for uh, following ABC method. So always mention that while the company should follow ABC, they should also see if it's viable to follow ABC based on the cost of implementing ABC as a method. So that will give an edge to you when you answer. Okay. So these are the reasons. It's 2 marks, so you can give 2 reasons. And yeah, so this is very simple. There are more questions on ABC that I had done last year. You can, I think, I'll add it to the playlist so that you can watch them, and also that will help you. Okay. So thank you for watching. These are the 3 questions that were from the end term paper. Um, I'll also try and solve the midterm paper very soon so that you can refer to those as well. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you have a very great winter vacation and best of luck for your exams.